Fed and those guys up there have decided that the dollar's strong enough and they don't want it getting any stronger. Now, that means if you look at the stock market, say in the UK, it's going bananas because there's no much point buying an asset that's not denominated in dollars if the dollar's going to crush it. And the same goes for gold. Why buy gold when the dollar's stronger than gold? So that dollar strength has been suppressing all the other assets, because why would you bother with anything else when you just hold dollars and let them go up? It's been absolutely rampant, and it's now suddenly stopped last week. So the other assets now have an opportunity to appreciate, because if the dollar isn't going anywhere, then it's a question of saying, well, okay, dollar's done its run. What is next? Is it going to be commodities? Is it going to be other currencies? Is it going to be the euro? Is it going to be other stock markets? Well, it's great news for crypto in a sense, because it gives, you wouldn't bother investing in anything but the dollar if the dollar's going to go through the roof. Why would you have Bitcoin? One of the big arguments for crypto is the dollar's going to be debased and it's all going to be hyperinflation. Well, the exact opposite's happened. The dollar's got massively strong. So that is really a drag for crypto and for the people that believe it's a replacement for the dollar. And they are out there. And there are people that sing that, crypto, you can't go around printing it like the governments print fiat. Crypto war is a thing. And a strong dollar basically slaps around crypto. And that's strong dollar, I believe, has come to an end. So that is actually quite positive for Bitcoin. Even though I'm actually quite bearish on Bitcoin as a whole, long term, medium term, and even short term, that's really quite a bullish thing. Well, I'm kind of squirming in my seat, thinking of all my dollars, thinking I should be flipping them into non-dollars, frankly. And I've got you can actually get a really good interest rate on dollars right now. You can get 2-3% if you lock it up for a couple of months. But of course, if you lock your dollars up for a couple of months, you can't flip them into Swiss francs or yen. Yen. Now, that's an interesting play. You can't flip them into pounds or euros because the blooming thing's locked up for a pittance. So, it's amusing. I wasn't really expecting the market that the dollar is not going to get much stronger from here. In fact, is going to get weaker, perhaps. The dollar's strong enough because the dollar goes up to squeeze down inflation. When that process stops, the market is looking out about a year and a half. Maybe less, somewhere between a year and a half.
Hey.
Well, I don't consider myself Nostradamus, and all I see is where the tendency is. And obviously, when it's really, really high, to me, it's obvious that its downside is large. And so far, I've been right. And I was on some of your shows way back when Bitcoin was 7,000, and I was saying it's going to go to the moon, and it did. So, 20,000 is a big deal for Bitcoin because it's a level that if you look back in 2 years' time, you could say, look, it's obvious 20,000. What you're thinking, that was obviously the bottom, right? But I don't think it is. I think there's another leg down, maybe very short term, maybe for a few months, and that comes in around, my magic number is 12 or 13, but it could be way lower. As you said, 8 to 10 to 13. But I go well over 100,000 at the next halvening, unless this merge, so-called, the hard fork of Ethereum that's coming up on Thursday, or whenever that 000 block comes, I want to see that passed, because that is a mighty, mighty world-class technical event. Doing what they're doing is just, it's like Musk landing his rockets backwards on Earth. It's a very, very tricky thing. And, let's hope it goes right. But the merge could really put the cat amongst the pigeons. And I don't really want to have anything to do with taking a big position or predicting much until that's out of the way. But I do think that now it's 50-50, that this 20,000 is the bottom or 12,000 is the bottom. And you just got to watch this level. You just got to keep watching this level. And if it looks like it's going to make a big W, that big W that we see time and time again over the year, if it starts to do that, then that was the bottom. If it makes a strong leg down, 18, 17,000, it's going to go that next leg down to around 10,000. So I'm just waiting for it to tell me what it's going to do, because when it starts on that move, when the trend starts to poke either down or up, and it's obviously not doing that anymore, that is the point where you could get in, and it's going to be a fairly long run after that. Like it's like having your cake and eat it. If it starts to go up strongly from here, making that W, it's probably going to go easily to 40,000. If it breaks down, says goodbye to this level, it's going to go to 10, and you can jump on that or just wait. Whatever your chosen way of transaction. Well, because if they do the so-called merge, the hard fork, and it doesn't work properly because somebody didn't think about something that did this. It's technology, right? It's like, why am I stuck in this lift? Well, a computer broke somewhere. Or why is Yahoo offline for the next 6 hours, or YouTube? Because somebody told me that it couldn't happen because they've got redundancy. And now it's happened. Computers are very, very unreliable when it comes to the ability to change them without breaking stuff. So actually, them getting this merge to go off without a hitch would be an amazing result, and probably something they might be able to manage. But the risk of it going pear-shaped is there, and it's real, and it could happen. And that is one of the things to worry about. Now, as with all crypto, it's like Russian dolls, one inside of the other. And my big issue is proof of stake is basically proof of oligarchy. And you've got a group of people, maybe a few thousand people, that now control the chain, rather than anybody that wanted to fetch up with a GPU in their notebook computer. It's now gone to a small group of people, and those groups of people will shrink, and it will end up being owned by somebody or three people. Yeah, it's the iron law of. I feel that a lot of people have bought Ethereum so that when the fork happens, they'll end up with the new tokens. Well, the Ethereum that they hold will be there, and there will be a fork, because the old one will be maintained by somebody, by people, and there'll be now two Ethereum chains: the dominant proof of stake chain and the junior proof of work chain, and you'll get automatically Ethereum on both, and that's worth $30 a coin, and that's worth $1,700 a coin. So you have a little bit of a free money payout event, and that was a big deal for Bitcoin, and people are trying to get that to happen again. However, the moment it happens, they'll take their free money, dump it, and they'll take the Ethereum that they bought and dump that too. So the risk is that Ethereum will drop quite heavily after the merge occurs, because as we know, being old equity people, you buy on rumor and you sell on fact. So gold is, not so bad, and it's been the strong dollar doing it. Now, I just thought, well, I can't mess around with this lump and mineral. I'll buy the miners because they got more pop. When it does turn, they're the ones that are going to pop, because they've been absolutely smashed. Now, obviously, if gold makes a recovery of any shape or form, those gold mines are going to explode. So that's where I've got my gold. I mean, I've got a few pounds stashed away, like you should have. But as a decent sized position, I would say the positioning should be in the miners. And platinum and palladium. Now that's really, really interesting, because all this, bleating on about the end of the world and we're all going to fry in the heat and let's have some alternative energy, that all comes down to platinum and palladium. I mean, and they don't make that stuff. I mean, the pitiful amount of platinum and palladium mined every year would boggle your mind. It's like you could put it in a suitcase practically. It's a few tons. I mean, not quite a few, but, it's like you look at the numbers and you go, hold on a minute, I see a lorry with that sort of weight go by me every day. And that's all that's mined of things like platinum and palladium. And they are absolutely critical for the hydrogen economy. And so, if you want to play the precious metals, I think platinum particularly is down in the dumps. I mean, it's $1,000 an ounce. I mean, they only make a few tons of it a year. And it's a catalyst of incredible importance.